I've been filming on it. I didn't have the recorder on.
I like the Father of the Year awards.
Oh, yeah.
From your kids.
I didn't even know that's still alive. I think it's 75.
Yeah.
I was still a young guy, yeah.
You're not old yet. That's you. I like the one in Ohio. When you were little.
How you like it?
Which one is she?
I thought I was doing such a good job getting close-ups and getting everybody's. I don't think I had the recording button turned on.
Well, at least you got the pictures.
Yeah, and at least I figured it out before the party was over. So. Oh, I heard it.
I mean,
It just didn't record it.
that means you got to do it all
We're gonna have to do it all over again. All right, Andy, have you got any? You got anything to say to the birthday boy?
No, I haven't got to go. You want to sit with Katie while I get Jerry something to eat?
Okay.
She
That's up to you. Deborah and I talked about this, and I got to give Deborah credit for the idea. She's the one who remembered. But I asked her.
Do you want to do this? And I'll take my cue.
Oh, I don't know how to work this thing.
What you see there is what's there.
Where's Dutch?
I asked her if I could tell it, and she said that I could. So get Jerry on his way.
I didn't give prices on heat pumps and so forth. So anyway, this was back about 1990, so it's been several years ago. I had some surgery on my old neck. And I was trying to kind of get back into working a little bit, and I called Jerry one day. I said, Jerry, meet me at the office. I'm starting back to work a little bit. And I said, we're going down, we need to go down the back. I said, the lady's going to bring us down there, and we're going to give her a heat pump. He said, okay, so he comes by and gets me, and we ride down the back water. And of course, Jerry's talking all the way down there, you know, and I'm listening.
If anybody knows him, I didn't listen by the way.
But anyway, we got out there, we were, if I can remember the whole story, we got out there, we were kind of backed up in the woods a little bit, of course, it's all woods, you know how it is. And we were backed up in that, sitting waiting for the lady to come, and he was asking about my surgery, asking what they had to go through here, and work on my neck, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, you hurting very much? You had much pain? I said, well, I do, Jerry. And I reached over and I said, kind of down my neck. And I was showing him, I had my arm around him and kind of run down my neck. Oh, well, now, that's me and old Jerry, two little ugly men, sat down with my arm around him. I said, Jerry, do you realize what I'm doing? Yeah.
No, what he really did, he jumped out and he said, I hope nobody. Because this was right after all the stuff that went on West Point Lake.
We
surely in this room full of people, there's a lot more stories.
Y'all want me to tell about?
Yep.
How many have you got? Mine's not as exciting as this. But when I first went to work with Jerry back in 19, long time ago, we were riding down the road one day, and Jerry said, "There's this girl I want you to meet."
I apologize, no sense. I'm still sorry.
For about 2 weeks, Jerry kept telling me to meet this girl. I said, "No, she's too young, too young, too young." Finally, I gave her, I said, "Okay, tell me her name." He told me it was June. I said, "Okay." I said, "I've been trying to find out how I was going to get a date with her." So Jerry and LaFay got me a date with June, and I'm still...
That's why I said we would apologize.
That was one of my stories. One of them was when Jerry and LaFay first got married. They lived out in the cottages, and Jerry's water heater went out. You remember that? The water heater went out, and the water heater was up in the attic. And I was down on the main floor there, and the water heater slipped and fell down from the attic to the floor. It was in a closet, and I had just stepped out when that water heater fell. Remember that? So, luckily I'm still here.
They were set up on the shelf, stuck up in the closet. There was a shelf, and you had to follow the bullet. You had to take it off the shelf. Somehow or another it slipped and come there. I don't know what happened, how it did, but it fell.
Luckily, that.
Well, this was almost a tragedy. One year, some folks worked in my office, and a couple of other folks went to North Carolina skiing, and Jerry got to go because Jerry had the van.
I like loss of friendship when it's sold.
That's right. But anyway, we went to Sugar Mountain in North Carolina, and there were about 6 of us or something, and we got there in the middle of the night. All right. and we had rented one of these places they have right there. They call them slope siders. They're right on one of the ski runs coming down, overlooking the ski run. and when we got there, we piled out of the car, and some of the guys had never been to a place like that, and we went to go see it, and it was at night, but they had lights on the ski run, and so we parked and walked around the cabin to the slope side of the cabin to look at the snow, look at the ski run, and I was one of the first ones around. There was a narrow path that came from where we parked the car around to the wooded side where we looked at the ski run, and I was one of the first ones around there. There was a couple of others with me, and Jerry came after that. Same path, no more than about this wide through the woods. Well, I heard something behind me, and it was a thud. It was a thud of Jerry hitting the ground, and I turned around to see what had happened. And what had happened was, I learned quickly, was there was a large hole in the ground say much. It was pretty quiet, and looked pretty bad at first, but turned out to just be a flesh wound.
He talks a little higher now.
And if you don't have a bad story, a good story will do too.
I think what it is, most of them know too much, they're not very scared. Huh?
You had a lot to do with starting Valley Haven, didn't you?
No, that was Dorothy.
Huh?
No, I didn't have anything to do with that. That was Dorothy.
I thought you did too.
No. No, it was Dorothy.
Well, I don't know his bad story, because I raised him and I didn't tell his bad. Anyway, when he was real little, we used to go down to the creek a lot. And Jared always went in, was always going his way. So when we went down there for a picnic one Sunday, he went off over there, he dove off in the water. His mother said, "Get my baby, get my baby." I said, "Don't worry about it. I said, he's been doing that a long time."
I wasn't 2 years old.
He was 2 years old. And he's been going in the swimming a long time. But I don't know anything bad about him, but he's a good brother. A good brother everybody can have. And I love him, so.
Getting drunk, too. Oh. I'm afraid.
Yeah, well,
I
Daddy,
don't remember it because I, you know,
Daddy.
they don't live next.
Because he was drunk.
Daddy had the flu real bad, so a bad cold or something. He was ringing me to get some whiskey and mix it up and take some whiskey and go to bed. So Jerry one night they did that, and Freya Henderson was there. Most of you know it. I know.
Fred was roomed with him, I think, at the time.
And so Jerry was wanting us to taste of it. So Fred gave him a taste of it.
Put it in a Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah, he liked it pretty good. So
Pour it in a Coca-Cola
so
bottle.
Jerry got drunk. That was when he was about 2 years old.
And he doesn't drink to this day.
But he remembers it to this day, and he doesn't drink anymore. That was the last time I think that hangover when he was 2 years old got it.
Yeah.
All I could tell you.
Well, I was telling you, maybe we'll have to tell everything.
You know, when you're little, so they keep things in
What did I do when I was little as a kid?
Well, when you rolled over the barrel one time.
Oh. I did say
He
that.
did things like that. He had a way of, he was a lot younger, because we had all grown up a little bit, and he was a lot younger. He had a way of playing all of us, you know. He'd want to do something, and we'd say, Mom would say, "I just don't have the money, I can't do that." Well, he wouldn't beat you. He'd go out and just play so sweet. And guess what? All of us would start feeling sorry for him, calling him and giving him money.
I didn't realize it until it was too late that I had that knack.
Well, he slipped off one time and went over to the highway, and he was just a baby. He was just a little.
James.
And
What happened to James?
he was just a little bitty thing. And he came home, and but Mama had spanked him for that. So he was playing with the barrel right outside, and you used to do that somewhere when Mama.
Oh,
you
yeah.
heard that.
Roll over there.
And then when you was rolling over the barrel, Mama had spanked him for saying that word, and he rolled over the barrel, and he said it again, and he jumped up and said, "I didn't say you." He was just a little bit funny. But he had a way of making you feel sorry for him because you called me to give him some money and let him go to the show.
I got a lot of show fare out of that.
But,
No one
Jack Dorothy done got older, so he and I was home. They done got married, and we were home, and so he and I just grew closer and closer. And still are.
I was one of the lucky ones. Daddy got hurt when I was 2, and
Here they come, y'all.
No, I was just gonna say, Dad got hurt when I was 2, and so we didn't have a lot. Jack got him a horse and a wagon, and that was in World War II, and I remember Dixie, in fact, later on in years, they traded Dixie off and got me a horse that died. But anyway, they would, I lost my train of thought. See, I'm old already. Yeah. But Mom and Dad didn't have a lot. We didn't know we didn't have anything because everybody on the street was in the same shape. And Mom had to go to work at the time, so Jack basically took care of me. And we go down to the creek. That's our big thing, Moore's Creek. We had a lot of kids on the creek, on that street, and we go down the creek, way down on Moore's Creek, and go over and pick blackberries and plums over there where the rest area is now. And go down the creek, swim over Moore's Creek, and I was telling somebody that bathing suit you saw over there. I would know right where I was at when World War II ended. Jack and Bill gone. Bill's dead now, but Bill gone and Jack. And Bill had a German Shepherd dog. And the 4 of us, the dog and the 3 of us then, was down there swimming in Old Moore's Creek at what we call the cover. And all of a sudden the bells and whistles started going off and sirens, and one of them said the war's over. And we went up to the house, and if you ever wore one of those type bathing suits with a cloth belt to it, once it got wet, you couldn't get that belt off. So we got up to the house, and Jack and Bill changed their clothes, and Jack struggled with that belt trying to get it off. And he couldn't get it off, so I went to church up to the old Bellwood church up here with that bathing suit on.
Well, I'll tell y'all one reason you don't see him lose his temper a whole lot, because he learned to hold it when he was little. He had a little dog that he loved instead of anything. And our house was high off the ground in the back, and Jerry had a pup tent that he kept up under the house. And he went out one day, and that little dog had got on the van and chewed that pup tent piece. Jerry come in the back door, mad as everything, and he looked at Mom and he said, "I'm gonna kill that little dog."
No, it was dead. It was
And he said, "I'm gonna kill that dog, little dog." She had said she didn't think anything about it, because he went and got his BB gun and shot him and killed him. He said that rocked him along most of the day. So that's a bit sad story. So he said that's why he learned to try to hold his temper.
And all of the people from Plant City, he's chairperson of the administrative council this year, so I think, best follow his directions.
Well, I've seen him lose his temper one time. I've been with him for 30 years, and I've only seen him lose one time. And I had to rough in a house up above Grange, up in the Grange at around Highland Marina. And it was just me. So Sean was, he's a little bitty fella. And he told me, he said, "Take Sean up there with you. He can get you a hammer, screwdriver, whatever you need." We got up there and we walked in the house, and this contractor went to cuss him. Said, "We're supposed to have been there earlier and done this and done that and stuff like that." I said, "Well, I'm just a worker, I went back and I called Jerry. Jerry said, "I'll be up there in just a minute." This was at Highland Marina. Jerry was up there, it seemed like about 5 minutes. And I seen him, the house was down the hole, big old 2-story house, and we sat down. I saw Jerry coming down that road. He was getting me. I just met him at the door. He said, "Where's Sean?" I said, "He's upstairs." He said, "Get him and put him in the truck." I said, "Oh gosh." I got him. Sean just went out there and set the truck. He went up there and he gave the man a talking to, and he come back out and said, "Y'all go back to work."
And one other time, first time Chris saw it, I got a mail at somebody's shop one day. Chris got in his truck and left. And in a little bit he come back, and I left by then, because when I get mad, real mad, I walk off and leave rather than lose. Chris said, that was the first time he seen it. He told those guys, said, "From now on, if you see Jerry losing his temper like that, don't say anything to him. When he turns around to leave,
at times that you make me cuss. My daddy never cussed. Never cussed in front of us. We never cussed. Except for this one night, where a friend and I decided, no, we really didn't get much trouble that night. We really didn't. Compared to other nights that you don't know about. But we had our story all made up. We knew if we got caught, what we were going to say. She had her story, I had my story. We could have said it. We could have said it. Well, we had parked my car at the post office in Riverview. And we were going to say that it gave out. Something wrong with it. And we were going to walk on up to her house and spend the night. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Something like that. Yeah, it was close to 3. There I am with my Adidas bag thrown over my shoulder, which dates me. And up comes my daddy, and he gets out of the car and he says, "Where in the profanity have you been?" And all I could do, and it was just like a movie. There's nothing to come out of that.
And y'all, she gave him some leisure pants for Christmas that said Sugar Daddy. Oh, okay.
Because Phil was in with you.
He may not want Linda to know.
Sell too many.
He may not
Phil
want
was
Linda.
with him when you done most of
Yeah,
it.
he may not want Linda to know. Well, I appreciate it. Oh, it surprised me he hadn't already got upset.
You know, we talk about kids today. We don't think about what we did when we were growing up. Jerry had a little old Ford, straight shift. He said you couldn't speed shift that thing. You know, you can't speed shift this far. He had been down from Fairfax to Riverview, that curve at the church, the cemetery down there. You can speed shift around that curve. I did it. Kind of scared him to death, but I did it. Then Jerry's talking over there about something he talked me into. When we were in 11th grade, of course, I remember Coach Snell. Coach Snell. He talked us into joining the National Guard. We had an 11-week vacation that summer. That's what we called it. We left about the day school was out. We got back the day football practice started. We're going to stay in shape for football that year.
That's his thought.
Yeah.
That's what he told us.
That's what he said.
That's how he got me.
See, this is a two-way street, you know, just like the voices, you got both sides. Well, that's the way this is. But we did have some good times. I said some of the things we can't talk about, but we had a lot of things going on when we were growing up. I remember one time Jerry, like the Lynette police up here, I believe it was Lynette. Jerry, I was going to a church meeting up here in Lynette. And Jerry saw me on the highway down here, so he turned around, he was going to catch me and talk to me. Well, he caught me. Policeman pulled up behind me, wrote him a ticket. So,
I wasn't running about 65, 70 that 2-lane road.
that's right, that was 2-lane back then. So, we always had a few things going, but Jerry's talking about he and I, the only two 9th graders. We were the first 9th grade class to go to Valley. And he and I were the only two 9th graders that played football that first year. You think about being picked on, we were picked on. But we didn't, the only thing we were dummies. You know how it is when you're at the youngest, and we were the 9th graders, and the rest of them were on up, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. But we did get picked on a great deal. But we did live through it. Jerry and I have been friends We didn't know each other until we got to the 9th grade, because he went to Charlotte and I went to Fairfax. We've been running around together ever since we first met at that. A few things that happened to us.
Yeah.
Thank you, call him back.
Got to, Don. We get to go on these road trips.
Can we hold on just a minute? I think his son's on the phone from Midvale, so just hold the time.
See what he's got.
Got to. On these road trips, you run a while,
Still met Scott.
you stop, you eat, have a little beverage, and you run a little while longer. So I always sit behind the driver's side in Jerry's boat, you know, like a fixed stone.
Yeah, he had his place this way, sitting right back here.
So we were going up Tennessee Road. Scott was up here. Sean was up.
No, Sean wasn't with us on that. It was just me and you and Don and
Scott, Mom.
Ray wasn't with us. It was just me
No.
and you and Don and Scott.
Was Frank with you?
I know, Mom.
No, it was just three.
All right. Well, Scott was up front.
Mm-hmm.
So we was running up there yonder, 35 mile an hour.
Let's talk about your son.
Scott had pretty sized young man, a lot bigger than I am. So Jerry turns around, looks at me, and says, "Son, what did you do?" And Scott was up here just laughing.
He's sitting in the front.
Sitting in the front. And we're going up road now, doing about 30 miles an hour. You got the law of physics don't pertain to this. And he put it politely, he extricated himself. So it somehow it tornadoed around. Came up from behind and attacked Jerry. He started gagging. And he looked at me. He said, "What have you done?" I said, "I don't know."
He had the most puzzled look when I turned around and looked at him. And I thought what happened, you know how the wind, when it comes over this hill.
You want to come around?
So I thought it had just come over and caught him and brought back up to me. And I turned around and Scott's sitting up front, that guy just died. And he's sitting in the bow of the boat and it come between the walk through the boat. You know.
What's so astonishing, though, it came around twice. It just stayed right in there with Jerry. That's what Jerry was. I didn't have to do with it, but it just stayed right in there.
Actually, this was a good tale on Scott, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
I wish I could saw his face when I turned around. I said, "Sonny, what'd you do?" He sitting here like this, you know, this way he rode. He sat right in the corner, one on the back and one up the side of the boat. This is the way he rode. And for years, that seat wouldn't even raise up. It just had a cushion like this where he'd sit. And that old bay line that I had, this cushion was mashed down and wouldn't even raise. But that look he had. What?
But it never got to nobody else but the circle.
We Scott was proud of him. He wouldn't have let you take it back. He was proud of him.
He did. We turned around.
Anytime.
He might not be tonight, you know.
Well, thank y'all. It's been a good night. I really appreciate everybody coming. Like I said, I didn't know I had so many friends. And
Wait just a
my brother
minute.
put it
I
this
think you
way.
got one more here.
Oh, okay. My
Oh.
brother put it this way, though. The only reason y'all came was for food.
Well, I'm not as funny as my sister, but your sister's got it. She's got a lot better stories to tell than I do. But Dad always has gone kind of overboard. He doesn't realize when there really should be limits to what you do. Like we drove all the way to Florala and back one night just to see a band play, so we could see how the drum major did stuff, so I could copy some things. Last year, sight. And so Dad drove us all the way from the capital city to where my meeting was. And, you know, in Honduras, there aren't a lot of traffic rules. And you know, even people that drive there all the time don't really know how to drive there. But it was no obstacle to Dad. He drove us all the way down there, left Mom out there for the meeting, and then he drove back to the airport speaking no Spanish, trading hats for luggage or something. I'm not sure how he did it, and got back. But one of the things he told me when I told him I wanted to join the Peace Corps, he said, I've always supported you in everything you've done, but I can't support you in this. And he really had, I mean, overboard, always supported me in everything I've done. But I knew him. So I said, okay, Daddy, I understand. And he came to Honduras twice, and ever since, I mean, you know, I don't tell those Peace Corps stories very much anymore, but Daddy will still tell my Peace Corps stories. It's like, oh, we have that. I wonder what Henry's doing. And so he really has always gone overboard, supported us more than he should have.
Doesn't he even have a little child down there named Harry?
Not mine, what you say? It's just named after me.
Better tell that. You better straighten that out.
They just fell so in love with Dad. They named their children after him.
And believe it or not, I know I'm big, but down there I'm really big. And what was it when I come back brother? Well, that's much bigger than the rest of the guys down there.
One time when we were about 15, when I was about 15, he had gotten a panel truck, a van with no windows for the shop, and he said, let's go camping. So we put cots in the back of the truck and went camping, and 3 children in the back of a truck with no windows. By the time we got up to
And a dog.
and a new dog. We were pretty stir crazy. We were creating songs in the back, and that
The
little
best
dog
trip
got
ever.
loose.
Best trip ever.
It was.
I went camping in that same thing.
That was me though.
In North Carolina,
Well,
I've been in it too.
went over to Blue Ridge Parkway and folks was hollering, well, I can't see. When no windows, you couldn't see.
when I told Paige that I couldn't support it, and that she thought she'd go into Africa. And on the way home, they said, you heard Paige's feelings today. I said, what? Telling them you couldn't support in this. I said, I didn't hurt her feelings. I said, she knows me too well. I just said that. I thought I had some leverage. And she said, that's okay, Dad. And I knew, well, I didn't have no leverage. But it was a good time for her. The first time we went down there, she's standing up on the top floor, looking out over the airport, and we turned to go up there, and she'd been walking the streets, and had white streets in it, you know. And she'd gotten dark because she's having to walk dirt streets and sunshine all the time. And she had bought a Honduran style dress, had it on. And I looked up at it, I told Faith, looking out the plane window, she was taxing up, I said, that's Paige. And she said, where? I said, right there. I don't see her. Where? And she had changed, you know, with that hair, getting whiter looking with the streets and things. And the fact didn't even recognize standing up there. Met some amazing people down there. You just don't know. Faye and I have been blessed to be able to go places, a lot of places. And but
would say to you tonight. So I want to say happy birthday to my better half. Now, I know a lot of you husbands and wives would say that to your husband or wife in a public situation, while all the time in your head you might be saying, yeah, right. But in my case, it's true. He is my better half. When he robbed me from the cradle, he got half a person. But I feel like now, 40-something years later, I'm a much better person, and in large part because of him, because I learned so much from him and have grown because of him. I've got to get my jigs in here. I've got to say some things because he's hit me too many times in public and embarrassed me. So I just want to hit 2 points. One is, it's already been touched on, about what a kind and generous person he is. And he's generous to a fault, in so much that it gets him in predicaments sometimes. All right, now I want to tell about another trip. I believe we were in Chicago with Ray and Deborah again. Walking the streets again. And again, we were ahead of him. He was always lagging behind. And we looked back there, and a panhandler guy came up to him and wanted to shine his shoes. So Jerry's the kind, you know. So he was just standing there, and he never said yes or anything, and the guy was just shining on his shoe. And we, come on. But he just stood there. And then here comes one of Chicago's finest policemen up to chase the panhandler away because it was against the city ordinance for him to be shining shoes. So Jerry was in a quandary. Do I let the guy shine my shoe or do I obey the law? Finally, he came away from there with one shoe shine and one not. And also, this is a touchy point with he and I both. Telemarketers, nobody likes them. And we get our share. And he'll get on the phone to him, and he'll listen, and he'll listen, and he'll listen. He'll let him say whatever, and I'm over here, hang up, say no, just hang up. And I will say, he has finally gotten better. But that's one point where he has almost lost his temper with me.
He said, "I'm across the edge," and I said, "He's not here."
Right.
If anybody wants to sell it, he's like, he'll buy it. Don't care what it is.
But let me say
No, I'm not that big.
that he is one of the kindest, most generous, most self-sacrificing people I know. And he's done things anonymously for strangers that nobody knows about. And I feel like, Brother Bill and Joy and all the people in our church, that he has helped angels unawares. I really do. He really has. And, let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, how can I forget this? He does love to talk. He does love to tell stories. He'll talk to anybody. A fence post will do. And, you know, he tells me the strangest story. We can be out in public and people just talk to him. He says, you know, I don't know what it is. They just come up to me and just talk to me. I just listen. They just talk to me. And this is one time I really said, yeah, right. But you know, the other night we were at Books A Million, and I went back to pick up my book or whatever, and I came back up there, okay, Jeremy, we have to go, we're going to a movie, and there he stood at the front of the store, which is where he always waits for me, looking at the bestsellers or whatever, or the war, Civil War, whatever. And he was looking at a book, and there's this man and this woman standing there talking to him. And I sort of gave him the eye, and it didn't work. I went and sat down at the table over in the coffee place and looked, and it didn't work. I think he even told him that was his wife waiting. It didn't work. I got up, went to the back of the store, and came back, and he was talking or listening, I'm not sure. So I really believe that there is something about him that attracts people that like to talk. But you know he does love to do his show.
I was sitting there looking at his book, man just come up and started talking to him. I was there, boy, waiting for Sonny to come home for Christmas, and I'm sitting here reading the book, man comes over and sits down, and he reads the book, and he starts talking.
But you know, he is a wonderful father, and every compliment his kids could give to him is true. He's been a wonderful husband, and I'm going to get some of you guys in trouble tonight, but He cooks breakfast every morning. He helps me clean house. He does all this work.
Now, my mother taught me these things, and the place said she wasn't going to.
I'm not going to let him break his training.
And,
It's a good dishwasher.
but, you know
Don't
what?
say
I
that,
think
'cause
they
you
went
answered
over
him
the
like
top
you
bill,
did
talk about the
him
top. Your mother, motor mouth. They call me motor mouth.
Well, actually, Mama got him up for clothes than us.
Well, actually, that talking runs in the family, so, you know.
Now, Jack's quiet.
Well, okay, but there's some other members in the family that like to talk too.
Ain't calling names.
No, okay. Joking aside, you've had your chance. You know, you didn't jump up. It's 9 o'clock. I don't want to keep you folks too long. But I want to read 2 letters. I don't know if I can get through them or not. I hear they're pretty great. But I want to read them. 2 of his children are here tonight, but Sean couldn't be here. You all know he lives up in the frozen north, and we can't get him. Well, we're working on getting him further south. But anyway, I told him, since you can't be there, maybe you can drop him a card, because he sends us email cards.
Yeah.
Email gifts, you know. I said, this time, write him something. You know. Email's great. We just haven't gotten that generation yet. But so he went overboard, and you got one from Kelly too. So you got one from both of them. So I'll try to read them to you. And this is from Kelly. Dad, so are you surprised? I wish I could be there to see your face and hug your neck. However, I'm thankful for the wonderful opportunity to tell you things I probably wouldn't normally tell you, but would just hope you knew. Like Mom has told me in a precious letter she wrote, with the daughters given us through birth, love is an automatic thing. We don't have to know them to love them. It's a more complicated matter when daughters come to you grown and complete. There's more work involved in the learning and loving process. Daddy always stressed to his daughters how important it was to marry a man who came from a good, stable home. When I first met Sean, he didn't exactly come across as a guy coming from a good or stable home. However, and I guess you'll explain, I hope, I was intrigued by his attitude, his intelligence, and his charm. Man, was he charming, and still is. When I came home with him the first time, I thought to myself, I haven't read this letter before, y'all. These people are so Ward and June Cleaver. What happened to Sean? As I began to peel away the layers and knock down the walls, it didn't take long to recognize Sean by the home in which he was raised. A home full of simple family fun, silliness, and humor, complete acceptance, and an overabundance of love for each other. I remember cleaning your glasses for you all the time when you and Mom would come to Birmingham for basketball games, sort of like how in Bible times the host would wash their guests' dusty feet. Whether or not you recognized it at the time, it was done out of honor, respect, and as an act of service. I remember Granny telling me in so many words as she lay on her couch, dying with cancer, how she approved of me when we announced our engagement. I remember how you took care of my car one late night when it died in Camp Hill as Sean and I were on our way home from college. I remember the trips to the Pearly's truck stop and the trip to Helen, Georgia on those weekends I'd have off between surgical rotations in school. I remember how nice it was to have a place to go home to while I worked so hard in school. I remember how you went outside and climbed a ladder one cold December night to open my stuck bedroom window so I could get to sleep. I remember the first time I heard you call me babe, the same term of endearment your dad used for Mom, and how special it made me feel. You and Mom have always made me feel special and worthy of your one and only son, even when I knew you were probably sitting up at night talking about whether or not it was such a good idea that he was getting involved with such a strong little girl, as Mom put it. Be careful what you say. I know there was a legacy of prayer culminating the day Sean and I registered for that physics lab in the fall of 1987 where we met. I know because I am creating my own legacy of prayer for the daughters who will be coming to me grown and complete. And when they come, I will remember the things I have learned from you and from Mom, and the gentle, loving way in which they were taught. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you. Kelly. And this is from Sean. Dad, a righteous man who walks in his integrity, how blessed are his sons after him. We all wanted to write you something to let you know what you mean to us as our Father, what influence you have had in our lives, and how you have changed us in ways you'll never know. From as far back as I can remember, you have told me and showed me how to be a man of integrity, a man on whom others can trust, somebody the family, and in some ways the community in general, can lean on when they need it. Though I didn't always listen, or didn't think I was listening, I must have been. Though I fail at times, as we all do, I feel I have tried to be that man that you showed me ever since I was a little boy, looking up at his dad as he worked hard, loved and took care of his family, and coached his Pee Wee football teams. I always remember those days. Other kids' dads who were coaching would often let their sons play whatever position they wanted, regardless of their talent at that position. You were not like that. By using the boys in positions they seemed best suited for, you showed me that the group, the family, the team, the church, the community is more important than one person's selfish goals. Still, you often would let anyone play a position at least once, and also made sure everyone got to play an equal amount. By doing so, you taught me that everyone deserved a chance in this world, and working and playing together was what was important, not who won or lost. When you would load the entire team up on the back of your truck, take them to McDonald's for hot chocolate, and then give them all a ride home, you taught me that we should care for others, whether or not anyone else does. But most importantly in those days, when I wanted to play football against Mom's wishes after my accident, you stood up for me and encouraged me to try, to fly, to live my life fully and not be afraid of the consequences. That lesson did not hit me until later in life as I was an adult, but the seeds of it began then. When I struggled in high school, you were my protector. You didn't know it, but you made me feel that no matter how rough things got, no matter how sad and lonely I got, you were always there for me. You still are. Even when I did things to disappoint you, and we know there were a few, I never felt that you were mad at me, only disappointed because you knew I could make better decisions. You had greater faith in me than I did at the time. And believe me, that disappointment I saw in your eyes pierced me more than any angry comment you could have made. All I wanted to do was make you proud of me. In those moments, I knew that pride was shaken. I have wandered back and forth in my integrity in the years since then, but deep in my heart and in the back of my mind, I have always wanted to make sure that I was as trusted and counted on by others as others have been of you during my life. As my faith has grown in the past few years, I have made living a life of integrity a priority. I have seen the pride you have experienced in watching that growth. That is a greater gift than you could ever have imagined. The greatest compliment I think I could give you is to tell you that I strive to be a support for the community that I live in, to live a life of commitment to others, as I saw all throughout my life in my dad. Thank you for all that you have taught me. Some of the most important lessons you have taught me were not through specific conversations we have had or disciplinary actions. No, the most everlasting and important lessons you have taught me have come through just watching you live a life of responsibility, integrity, and love for those around you. And for that and all the other things that make you who you are, I love you so very much and wish you the best of birthdays. Thank you for blessing me with the gift of being your son, Sean. And he's always... He's always given me that same support too. Yes.
You're going to the right? All right, well, that's fine. I think that would eventually end you up in a big circle. All right, Billy, where are you going?
I'm gonna fly to in somebody's mouth in a place where there's lots of treasure. Like me.
Ooh, so into somebody's mouth. Like some old spinach or something?
No, the gold.
139 Rumson Road. Rumson Road. Is Beth Hagan. Hagan. 404-374-4626. Same thing. Right now I'm kind of living off that. Young. Oh, she'll never get knocks out. Oh, God, he's got rocks in his pants. Oh.
my gosh.
Oh, how funny. Makes my back hurt just to look at her.
Grace is so funny.
Charlie is
She'll be able to throw Charlie across the room.
I'm Charlie.
Charlie.
And there's a little Charlie.
It's about Charlie.
Is your name Charlie too?
Are you Charlie?
It's Charlie. She's really. We're just starting this, and so.
Oh, is this your first time?
Well, my husband brought him on Saturday. Ours is Rob, the one who's not wearing the potty clothes. That one.
I didn't see
Do you like it?
Charlie.
Get her getting Jared.
Oh.
So, I think we're going to sign. This is just our second trial. So I think we're going to sign up on Saturday. Yeah, but he liked it, and it's just kind of easy. Oops.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
how I
go.
like it. I mean, talk about more than just karate, so it's good.
This has helped him in his schoolwork more than anything I've done. It blows my mind because I thought karate was just ha ha ha.
Right.
But I mean, I couldn't find something to push his confidence. And I mean, all of a sudden it's just clicked.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
It's amazing. And I would have, and every time I mention it to other mothers that have, like Lauren Whitmore, oh yeah, didn't you know that? I think, no, I just didn't know that.
See,
Nobody was
okay,
like-
you can see him right in there.
I guess it's kind of like the discipline, you know, the dance. I mean, my daughter's been dance for years. It's kind of the,
Yeah.
but it,
That's the same as-
exactly, but this has been.
Me.
There he is.
There's one.
Yep, there they go.
Whoops.
What are
We
you
lost him.
doing?
He's trying to do a push-up, but I don't think he quite gets the concept.
Marco's prime shooter on push-ups.
I can see.
You're gonna get it. Have to work on that. Okay.
The jumping jacks is what we can't see, but
We can't do those very well either.
No, I can see it. And get some water.
Hmm?
And get some water.
Well, let's wait till his class is over, okay? And then we'll get some on the way out. Here, Katie, why don't you sit down? I knew if you need to see better. Go stand with your class and get class together.
Jerry.
Jared, you're supposed to stand with your class until it's over.
It's white belt today. Everybody make sure you're in perfect attention in the blue. Look down, check your feet.
Blue.
Nice job, perfect attention. Juniors, thank you for being so quiet on the wall. That doesn't mean move. And everyone, come to attention. Did you guys have fun today? Yeah! Are you gonna go home and be nice to your parents today? Yeah! Are you gonna eat Brussels sprouts today? Yeah! And everybody back. And class dismissed. Juniors, one down.
New stripe.
Smith. Superman, Superman. Hey, Dad.
Whoa, watch out, Jared. Okay, Katie, can you tell me one more time? Jared, move out of the way. Okay, Jared. Yeah, you stay right there. Jared, wait right there.
Okay.
Okay, Katie, what did you learn in school last week? Emotions. And what emotions did you learn? What was that one? Oh, is it sad?
Yeah.
Show me sad. Oh. Show me happy.
No, that's why I was asking.
Show me surprise.
You got it from school?
Show me scared.
Not yours?
No, it's Mom's.
Show me angry. And show me silly. Show me sleepy. Are there any others?
No. Oh, one.
All gone?
Yeah.
What are you learning about this week?
Hearts.
Hearts
And red.
and the color red.
Dad, you know what?
Why are you learning about hearts and the color red? Oh, you want me to turn your movie on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad, I got
Do you have anything else you want to say?
You got it now, lady.
Okay.
Where'd you get
All right. See you later.
Okay. Are you ready, girls? Okay. Stand up nice and tall. Arms out. Right and left exercises. Here we go. Right foot. Right. Tap. 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 Right. Tap. 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 Right. Tap. 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 Together. Shake. Left. Tap. 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 Together. Shake. Right. Heel. 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 Right. Heel. 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 Right. Heel. 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 Together. Shake. Left. Heel. 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 Left. Heel. Heel. Look at here. Heel. Heel. Together. Toe back. Right. Toe. Right. Toe. 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 Right. Toe. Toe. Together. Shake. Left. Together. Now, right hand, wave, hello everybody. Right hand, now, shake. Left hand, left hand, left hand, and we say, thank you. Very good. All right, remember, count to 8. Right foot and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And stand real tall.
Right foot ready for heel together.
Heel. 8. Right and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still.
Right foot ready for go back together.
Ready? Right foot first. Ready?
Ready for
Good.
boogie
Boogie
woogie.
woogie. Bend your knees. 5, 6, 7, 8. Boogie. Boogie. Right. Left. Boogie. Woogie. Right. Left. Boogie. Woogie. Right. Left. Boogie. Woogie. Right. Left. Good. Stand up tall.
Right toe up, ready for
Toe drops. Ready, bend your knees.
5,
Ready, drop that toe. Right one and left one. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good.
ready for jump out, jump in.
Box. Ready? Here we go. And jump out, jump in. Jump out, jump in. Jump out, jump in. Jump out, jump in. Good. Okay.
Ready for rocking heel.
Rock our heels. Ready?
7,
Rock,
8, rock,
rock,
rock
left,
left, rock
rock,
left,
rock,
rock
rock,
left, rock left,
rock, left, right, left, right, left, rock, and cross. Good.
ready
Okay.
for rocking toe.
Rock our toes. Get your hands up.
5,
Ready, and swing your toes. Swing, 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 swing. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
ready for jump back,
How many
jump front.
times? 4.
Ready, and jump back.
1, 2, 3, 4. Front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good.
Ready for knee bounces.
Get your hands ready to bounce and clap. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
10, straight, and straight, bounce, bounce, up, down,
Up,
down, straight, straight, bounce,
up,
down,
up.
bounce.
Good.
Shuffle step, change
Shuffle
feet.
step.
Right foot ready.
Pick that foot up. Big girl step. Brush that foot. Brush, brush, down. Pick your other foot up. Brush, brush, down. Right foot. Brush, brush. Left foot. Brush, brush, down. Right, brush, brush, down. Left, brush, brush, down. Right, brush, brush, down. Left, brush, brush, down. Very good. Okay.
Now ready for the flash trick.
Flash trick step. Great. Ready and down. Back. Scoot, jump up. 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 Good. Okay. 4-step dance. Get ready for our marching dance. Ready? 5, 6, 7. March. 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 Point. 1, 2, 3. March. 1, 2, 3. Point together. 1, 2, 3. Back in the box. Jump out. Jump in. Jump out. Boogie woogie. Boogie. Boogie. Boogie.
for, sit